Look at that. It's the
Hey.
cast and crew. I'm going to start quickly. Hi, I'm Sam. You might remember me from such things as this very podcast, but, weeks ago. Now on to you, this way.
Okay, cool. Hi, I'm Josh. I directed this last episode of Death Battle, Sanji, Rockley, and I'm here.
Yeah, I'm Luis. I'm
No, this
the
way.
animation director for the episode just aired, Sanji versus Rockley.
Cool. And that's not Chad. That's just a still frame of Chad looking like a dum-dum because he isn't here. So yeah, and neither is Ben, you might have noticed, or we actually were supposed to have Mark Phillips from RDC World on today, but he had a last minute thing come up and sadly couldn't make it, so we're going to try and get him on the show on a future episode. But for now, we're here to talk about our most recent episode, Rockley versus Sanji versus Rockley. And yeah, these two did all of the work on it, and I'm just here because it's really cool, and I'm glad to be a part of it because it's a really badass episode. It's like I feel like I always love when we get to do like some real anime shit, like not just dip your toes in, but like dive into that anime pool, right? Like you get deep. Yeah. And this one is definitely one of those episodes where it is anime AF, as the kids say. So yeah.
It's very anime from the shot list to the boards to the animation to the effects, all that stuff. We were just like, let's just dive in. There's no reason to hold back. In the shot list, I'm gonna like reference anime stuff and like write in like speed lines into a shot list, which doesn't make any sense, but we did it anyway.
I assume you had John Mitchell as your storyboarder on this one, right? Yeah, he's perfect for anime stuff too. Like he knows like. John Mitchell is anime, so like he lives the tropes, and like he knows them really good.
One thing about John Mitchell that I really like is that he goes super extra with his boards, and like to the point where like you can just like grab all the images that he made and just like throw it into a Premiere file, and like it's already animated. It's like oh, why don't we just like put this out? We're done.
just add color. We good?
Like, just add color. We're good. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's always fun to be able to work on anything that any of the boards that John has made, and thankfully he has made a lot of the episodes for this year. And we couldn't have done it without him. So
yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I guess what we would normally do, and I'll actually be a good one today and keep it on track and go straight to the Q&A because that's what we should be doing because it's a Q&A episode. Josh, as the director, I'm pretty sure you got some Q's and hopefully you got some A's.
I got some A's. Hopefully you guys got some A's too.
Yeah. What's Q number one? Q number one?
So question number one, Rockley has never used all 8 gates. So why did we give him all 8 gates in the fight? So that's a good question. And it's true. We've never seen him use all 8 gates, but we do know that he's mastered all 8 gates. So there's really no reason to assume that he couldn't or wouldn't use them if he needed to.
Right.
Short and sweet.
And something that we can kind of like, based on like what my guy has done, basically we can have a basic idea of like what kind of like power he would have for that. And like it's only fair to bring the characters at their most like powerful form, basically, for a death battle, and that included the 8 gates. We had to include that in. Otherwise, we would have gotten a lot more questions about why didn't we use the 8 gates instead of like why we did.
Yeah, and it's like honestly, it was his best shot at winning. He needed to use all 8 to really stand a chance. So there you go.
And even then, like we've seen the results. So spoiler alert,
oh, that's right.
Sanji won it. Yeah, we didn't say that, but like spoiler alert, Sanji did win the fight. So like even with the 8 gates and like he still couldn't really get that W. So
yeah, it would have been a stomp without it.
Yeah,
it was a fair fight with giving these guys everything they have. So.
Since and here I'm throwing just a real wild curveball cue at you here. Since and we're gonna spoil another episode if you haven't seen it. And All Might guy also uses the 8th gate, and that's essentially what lets him win, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Since and like the 8th gate is pretty general, I feel like my guy and Rockley with 8 gate open are pretty similar. does that mean Sanji is greater than All Might by like
The
deductive
transitive
logic?
property.
Yeah, transitive properties. Like, is that how this works?
I
Does
mean,
Sanji beat All Might? Is
I
that
I think that's like a little bit unrelated because like like it all depends on like battle experience as well, and like and a lot of other factors, right? It's an assumption to have the like to say that my guy if he if if All Might can be my guy, he and Sanji can beat Rockley, then that means that like Sanji can beat All Might. But like it's something that we'll have to research and find out if that's the case. But I guess the assumption is yes. But you never know until you get into the research. So
okay?
A political answer, and I like it.
Yeah.
always gotta be careful with that. You never know when you like go into research. Go wait a second. Actually,
Yeah. I mean, we've seen people go into fights so confident that they know everything about the characters, that they know which way this is going to go. Like people on our team, so confident, and then you find something that changes everything. That always
Yeah.
happens. You
we
really
have
never
had
know.
we have had so many matchups where like we have DC characters and Marvel characters, and we're like, oh, surely the Marvel character is gonna win this one, and then like we get into research like, how does this always happen? Like, so like it's one of those things where we
pesky
never
comic
know.
book panels.
I think if I remember correctly, whenever I was doing Bowser Ganon, I was like really sure Bowser because of like a bunch of black hole feats and other like dumb Mario stuff. Mainly just because like Mario has more cartoony things, like, and Bowser is like technically never died, right? Like even though he's been in lava, like he might turn to bones. He doesn't like die. He just gets kind of thrown out of the situation or sucked into a black hole and then comes back next week for a party. And like so it's like yeah, Bowser will probably win, and then like 2 weeks into research, it was like, oh shit, well, you can't really kill Ganon either, and you can curse him from the inside and all this other bullshit. So yeah.
And with stuff like with Mario Galaxy, you're like, oh yeah, surely there's like a lot of feats with gravity, like bending things that Bowser can do, and like Ganon will have no chance. And it's like, oh wait, never mind. Actually, there's magic. Can't forget about magic. So yeah.
So, next question. If Sanji scales to Luffy, why is he considered faster than Luffy's laser beam feat? You want to explain that one for us?
So, the key thing there is that Luffy dodged those beams in his base form, and we have reason to believe that Sanji scales up to at least Gear 3rd. So basically, if Sanji is faster, or at least up to scale with Gear 3rd, then we know that he's faster than him in base form, and he was able to dodge laser beams in base form. So it's basically looking at all of like the context. Sanji's not necessarily stronger than Luffy at his strongest, but at that point in his base form, definitely. So we can assume that he's faster than that specific feat, which is what we used in the research.
Luffy wasn't trying at that point, and he didn't have. I'm pretty sure he didn't have a what I said, like being able to predict the future, because he does kind of like learn how to do that later on in the series. So like the fact that he dodged that is kind of it's just really dope. So and he did that. I'm just gushing about One Piece, sorry. But it's just like this was before a lot of other crazy stuff happened. So like
Who were y'all's researchers for this one? Do you remember off the top of your head?
Top of my head, I think Liam and Lousy.
Liam and Lousy, cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, always good. Always know their animes.
Guys.
So yeah, how do you decide when it's reasonable to scale characters to each other? Like a lot like scaling Sanji to Luffy. And I think that might actually be a best question for Liam or Lousy, but I'm sure you can give us a competent answer.
Yeah, and it was a question that came up a lot for this fight, because I think people kind of are dwindling it down to basically like, doesn't it feel like at some point we're doing series versus series, if characters can kind of scale to each other like that? But I think what's important is kind of what we touched on a little bit. It's like the context is really important, and thinking about like, is this specific feat we're scaling someone to Is it something they did once and have only really done once? Do they consistently do it? Is it something that they like is in their like kind of baseline skills and feats? All that stuff is really important. So it's basically like just double checking the research and making sure there are multiple reasons to scale characters to each other, not just like one anecdotal kind of thing that happened in a random comic or even in sort of the main canon. Like it's got to be something it's like the scientific method. It's like, can we repeat it? Has it been repeated? Is it something we can really rely on? We rarely will ever scale somebody to somebody else willy-nilly. It's like we really got to make sure that consistently they seem on par with each other, and there are other reasons, other factors that we can say that they are reasonably scaled to each other. That's like a bigger or broader death battle question.
The good people over at Bespoke Post have done it again this winter. They brought us another whole line of awesome boxes, and they got just a crazy amount of stuff. We're talking, I mean, they have what looks like one of the most comfortable sweaters in the world, the cigar box. They got, just watches, hot sauces, a whole box of different cured meats. I love that kind of stuff. And everything they send you is not just awesome, but it's good value too. Each box costs only $45, but has over $70 worth of gear inside, and it's free to sign up, and you can skip a month or cancel at any time. And they have new boxes all the time, so maybe one month you see some nothing there, cool, skip. Next month, the coolest stuff you've ever seen. You get 2 boxes. Who knows? You can do whatever you want, and it's always going to be good products from Bespoke Post. Theboxofawesome.com is just a great place to go to find awesome stuff, especially in the holiday seasons. Not only that, a lot of times we say him and his and all that stuff, but Bespoke Post now has some boxes for her too, which is extra cool if you're looking to get, a certain lady friend something for the holiday season. And not only that, you can get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com and enter the code BATTLECAST at checkout. That's boxofawesome.com and the code BATTLECAST for 20% off your first box. Go do it. It's awesome. They have cool stuff, and I can't recommend it anymore. Back to the show. I just noticed Brian is changing the Chad face.
I didn't. Did you just do that?
I guess so. Yeah, it's good.
That's awesome.
I'm glad we have all these great Chad faces picked out already. Brian is truly a master of his job. Yeah. Do y'all know how, like, one of the series? How did Mark from RDC come to voice Rockley?
Yeah, I was really hoping he would be able to speak to this,
but tell the story.
Yeah, because I'm curious about how he auditioned or was reached out to, or if it was one or the other, combination of the two. But the way that I came to know about it, it was just that his was one of the many auditions that came in, and I listened to his and loved it. He had such there was so much energy to it.
It works perfect.
Oh man, it was awesome. I was like, this feels electric, and I'm just listening to him read cold, without any direction. And he hadn't seen any of the boards or any of the artwork. It's just him knowing that character and bringing it. And so I was so excited to get him in the booth and do it. He was awesome.
Yeah. I assume because they're local and kind of friends of the family, they might be on our audition cast call outs. Maybe that's how it happened. But hopefully we'll be able to get the full story from him in the future whenever he can make it on. So why did another fight start with food? Question that should be easy for you.
Wasn't this just pure coincidence, I guess, at this point? Most of the fights have started with food, and we just kind of didn't notice until people started pointing it out. It just kind of felt way, at least.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's how it happened for every fight this season. There were several that started with food, and it all was just a coincidence. And then I think at some point Ben realized that was happening and kind of just leaned into it. And this one was honestly, of all the ones that were going to start with food, this was the one that deserves to start with food the most. So it was kind of a no-brainer. There wasn't even really a conversation of, have we overdone this? No. This makes the most sense.
Also, this is the last episode that involves food of some kind as the setup. So,
Spoiler.
right?
Well,
Tease.
yeah,
oh no,
because-
oh no! It's like, oh no, like
I mean-
Broly and Hulk are gonna be like, oh, you stole my. Like,
You should have had it start with Hulk offering Broly like a tiny taco, or I guess a real size taco. It's just he's massive, but yeah.
You want some taco? It's like,
Yeah,
no.
but that is our next fight, Broly versus Hulk, which we the three of us, I don't think worked on it a ton, but I'm very excited about it. And next week I know we will have I believe we're gonna have Mel on, Melanie Stern, who is the lead animator for it, and
Nice.
Billy Burson, who's not only the voice of Ringmaster and DBX, but also the lead Viz Post for it as well. Which, if you don't know about like animation and the works that doing visual post-production stuff, which means like, you know, whenever Broly shoots a laser beam, like that's not on the animator, that's on Billy. Like the animator has like just like a circular stick come out of his hand, and then Billy makes it a fucking energy beam, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of that shit. Obviously it's Broly versus Hulk, like that's no spoiler. There's some fucking laser beams and some incredible explosions of shit happening. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna get into the nitty-gritty of that cool shit here coming up. But I'm just genuinely excited. I've actually seen the whole thing, of course. 'Cause, like,
Yeah, I'm
it's a
excited
really
because
fucking cool episode.
I haven't seen
everything.
any of it. Like, it's one of
Really?
the cool things about the fact that we've got so many different fights going on at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, I was able to kind of steer clear of that entirely. So when I see it for the first time, it'll be when it comes out, and I'm really excited to just kind of
Well,
experience it as a fan. It's gonna be so
that-
cool.
That's good
Yeah.
because like this episode really, it's like it just goes out of the park. It's like it's great, like the animation, the effects, the music. Oh, the music, it's so good. Like I can't wait for people to watch that because like it is a great finale and a good start to what will be a pretty amazing year next year for
Yeah.
that battle
Yeah,
in general.
I wish I could talk about it more, but I don't want to accidentally spoil anything. It's a really cool, really great season finale, and it's one that obviously I think Hulk versus Broly, Mad Boy Supremes has been like, it's been a request for, I don't know, since I started working on Death Battle like a
Mhm.
decade ago. It's been always in the top, so it's sweet to finally have like the resources and everything. I will say one cool thing about this episode is I think it's the first episode of the year we did, because we had it animated in between a Ruby break by a lot of the Ruby animators like Melanie Stern, and I think they actually finished the fight animation in February, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's
think-
like
I
we've
think
been
you're right.
sitting on it for a while, and Viz
This
Post
fight-
got finished after that, obviously, but it's so good. They took the time with it. They made it awesome. Everybody involved with it is really good.
Yeah.
The
The fight was done before COVID. That's how far back. It's,
Yeah, we were still in the
done.
office when the
Yeah.
base animation was finished. Yeah,
That's wild
yeah.
to think
Feels
about.
like years ago though.
Yeah, this year has been years.
Yeah, for sure.
I see in the chat, Renak asked, "Can you guys say why you picked Hulk Broly over Asura Hulk or Asura Broly?" I don't know if I can speak for Ben on this one, but I think it's just generally we do have a like Death Battle suggestion sheet that anyone can go. It's in the description of every episode on YouTube, and I believe on RT as well. You can suggest stuff there, and the only reason we didn't pick it was certainly not because it was highly requested. But I think one of the problems with like we wanted to use Asura a lot in stuff, but he's kind of compared to characters like Broly and especially Hulk. Like Asura Hulk is just a weird one because Asura, you can finish the research on Asura in like 2 days, and Hulk can be 2 months, and it's like a little weird to have somebody with such a concise bit and like not much to dig into. It's also much harder to research a character in some senses that doesn't have a lot of source material. Like
Mhm.
Hulk has literally thousands of comics and shows and everything that we can go to like, oh, he did it this one time and this time and this time and this time and this time. And we know like, okay, World Breaker Hulk has been able to achieve these feats. But it's like with Asura, it's like, okay, you got that game that was cool and he did this one thing this one time and we don't have anything around it to like point to or explain. And I don't know. That's once again, Ben will probably have a much better answer for you. That's just me and my assumption for why it was chosen that way.
I think
it's just, I don't know,
the most
it's
important
fucking
thing
cool.
I think the most important thing to know is that no matter if we don't do a matchup, it still doesn't mean that we will never do that matchup. You know what I mean? Like there's always a chance for your characters to face off the characters you want. I mean, this is that battle. We'll always try to find that answer for you guys. So yeah, just keep suggesting that matchup, and maybe we'll do it one day.
In a weird way,
Yeah.
I would almost rather have Asura versus Might Guy. I just think that would be more interesting. Maybe it's just because it seems visually it's the similar with all like the weird skin cracking and stuff when they get mad. But yeah,
That's where
that's
some-
that
some crazy
discussion.
shit, though.
I think
But-
that was my obligation to keep this train on the rails.
You did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been mad Rayleighs. Now I guess we can go to what's going on and stop, and I'm gonna ruin it. So yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, crazy times, crazy year. We all know the thing. Whatever. Let's talk about actual good stuff that happens, and that's getting creative in your home. And a good way to do that when you don't have necessarily all the skills to make something, like a person like me, for example, does not have many skills at all. You go to Fiverr.com, and you can get people to help you with just pretty much anything. I actually did it myself the other day for a non-work related thing. I wanted to make a video with a joke in it, and I wanted to parody a certain YouTube channel, and I was like, you know what, it'd be funny, and I spent $70, and I had not just a logo made, but like an actual like alpha layered video intro asset made for $70 on Fiverr, so that I could really drive home a joke with a friend. And yeah, Fiverr is just like, that's a silly thing, but you can do it for very serious things as well. And the fact, the turnaround I got for the price I paid and the quality of the product is ridiculous. I never would have guessed that I could have just been like, hey, I wanted to make these things, and then go online within 5 minutes, find 2 separate people to make the logo, and then the next day I handed the logo off to the person that made the video intro graphic. It was so simple and so easy to do something that I could not have done myself without like months of learning After Effects and all sorts of wild stuff. And yeah, I mean, that's a genuine endorsement of just how it worked for me. And you can do it for much more serious things than memeing with your friends. But if you want to meme with your friends, I cannot suggest Fiverr more. Yeah, it's just an awesome setup. Not only that, they have a global network of on-demand freelance talent, and that, you know, they've worked with some of the biggest brands in the world, and they're awesome. It's super easy to customize and search for the service that you're looking for. Like, I went on there and I had 2 people that I knew could do what I wanted. Like I said, it was like 5 minutes and I had it done. It was crazy fast. But even if you do have any small issues, they have 24/7 customer service, and you can reach out with questions at any time. And yeah, you know the prices up front, so you kind of know what you're paying and what you're getting, which is a really hard thing to guarantee in the freelance world. In just the fact that it's so safe and secure on Fiverr is crazy. It's awesome. So yeah, I mean, just go check it out. Check out Fiverr.com, and not only that, you're gonna receive 10% off by using our code CAST. That's just CAST. So find all the digital services you need in one place at Fiverr, FIVERR.com, and use the code CAST. Again, that's Fiverr.com with the code CAST. Go do it, because it's pretty awesome. And yeah, for memes or for serious projects, Fiverr's great. Back to the show. All right, word. Okay, what is going on, y'all? I mean, we had a few things for this segment, but then we got mad curveballs. So
Yeah.
yeah, one of those days.
Oh man, I've been drinking a lot of Topo Chico. I don't know why I'm mentioning this. I've just been drinking a lot of Topo Chico lately, and I feel like I'm full of mineral, and I can't stop.
I always
I don't know.
worry, and this is so unfounded, because I'm on the bandwagon with you. I'll be slamming Topo Chicos like
Yeah.
crazy. For those of you who don't know,
Yeah.
Topo Chicos, like, it's just mineral water. It's fizzy
Yeah,
water.
yeah,
But it's delicious.
There's nothing. Yeah,
it's like
there's
the
nothing
best thing
special
in the
about
world,
it.
right? And I worry, can drinking all these minerals, like, is that going to give me like a kidney stone or something? I don't know how
Yeah,
minerals.
yeah.
and
I
science
don't know how that works either. So like, it's like one of those things
I'm
where,
not
like,
going to slow down on my topo roll. Like, it's
You'll find out one way or the other.
It's also, I feel like, a level where you've realized you're kind of like I don't want to say grown up, but your palate is at a point where
Yeah.
if somebody was like, "Would you like this Coca-Cola?"
Yeah.
or a different water, I'm like, oh, give me that Topo Chico. That's the one that
Yeah.
wins 100% of the time. Like, fuck sugar and weird drinks
just-
and the sodas. Like, I just want some fizzy water. Like,
Yeah,
so
it's just the texture. That's all
specifically
that
Topo
matters.
Chico. Like, I'm fine with
Yeah.
other fizzy water, no beef. But Topo Chico, for
Mhm.
some fucking reason, is magic. I don't know
It's
what
the
it
glass.
is. It's just right.
Is the
Yeah.
glass.
It's about the glass bottle, I think. Stays cold
Yeah.
for long. It's very good.
Were y'all disappointed when we stopped getting Topos in the office and switched to like the machine, the bevy machine?
No,
Are you kidding?
I wasn't, because I was a fucking idiot and I didn't start drinking Topo Chico. I didn't understand. I was like, oh, it's just like a weird hipster Austin thing. It's just like bubbly water. Why do I give a shit? And then like eventually, like a little bit after, I can't remember why. I think I was drinking them at bars once because I was like just not trying to get. I was a DD or something, so I was just having Topos or something because it was something not normal water to drink. And I was like, man, this shit is fucking amazing. And then, I never got in on that fucking office of free Topo.
Oh
where
man,
we
it
were
was
going
it was
through.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we had like an
Still-
all hands slide one year where it's like we went through 3,200 cases of Topo this year, and then they
This
gave
is a
us the
problem.
fucking machine.
amazing.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, fine.
When I came to the office for the first time to interview, Austin got me one, and I was like, "Oh, this place is amazing!
Yeah.
Just got a free Topo for interviewing here. I gotta work here. This is great."
You could occasionally. There was a hot minute there, and this is like we have split like buildings on campus. You would go over to the one where the executives are, and in their fridge they would still have like Topos and LaCroix and nice shit. Like it was
Ooh.
like, yeah, you go to the rich guys building. They had their fridge. I don't know, like when we were like the last 2 months of being in office, when like all the executive staff moved over into that building, that fridge got out of control. There was like fancy like beer in there and shit like that. Like they were just like, we're richer than you. We got the good shit here. It was. I was like, okay, fine. I'm gonna fucking steal it. Like I don't know what you
when they
can't hide
took
it 5 feet from me. Nuh-uh. I'm coming to
When they
take your
took out-
good shit.
When they took out Topo out of the office, I just remember that like we used to have like that battle cast was at that building. So like that was that was what like oh yeah, I'm gonna be on that battle cast. It's like
Yeah,
because I'm gonna have some Topo.
You get a Topo.
You know?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
get a Topo.
yeah. Like, yeah, that was the part.
Yeah.
I was more excited about stealing a Topo from that building than I was doing cast.
They
yeah.
also, I mean, they also have better snacks at Stage 5 than our
Yeah, they
building.
100% do. They 100% do.
What?
Yeah, it's way
Straight up,
better.
there's like Pocky. Like what? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, now we don't have any snacks, which is really
True.
the biggest blow from this
Yeah,
entire
it is.
quarantine. Is the
Now-
snacks are gone.
now we can go
The
to
amount of
like
Gatorade I've consumed this year has significantly dropped, like because we always had Gatorade in those fridges. Like it's
But to
the
be
snack thing is
fair,
real.
we had the shit Gatorade, right? Like
Wait, what's the
we
better
had-
Gatorade?
Gatorade.
literally every flavor. They would get the variety pack that was like fruit punch red,
Uh-huh.
lemon, and
Mhm.
orange.
Those are
Fuck
great
those three
flavors.
Gatorade. Those are like the three worst. Like, let's do top 10 Gatorades real quick. Those are the three worst Gatorades. Those are the three worst. The blue,
Blue is good.
light
That
blue,
is- yep.
purple, all of them so much fucking better. It just blows them
Yeah.
out the fucking water. Like fruit punch Gatorade is disgusting. Lemon Gatorade is just a little boring, and orange Gatorade is just a little boring. I just don't care for them. The other Gatorades are way fucking better. Like literally all of them. Like you can give me that weird cucumber melon shit, better. Like love them all.
That one is
They're
good.
all better. Just the basic variety pack is a terrible choice for Gatorade. They need to make the like blue, green, purple pack. It's I don't know. It's like Arctic ice or some shit. I
Just
don't know
call
what
it the
flavors are
top
called. They're all
three
wild.
Gatorade pack or something. Like
Yeah.
just sell it as
Yeah.
that, like top three. Here you
The
go.
actual good
Like,
ones.
Yeah.
I would
The
sub, I
actual
would
good
sub
one
fruit
pack.
punch for blue. That's totally right. Like blue is so
Yeah.
good, but I do love yellow and orange, and I'm calling
Really?
them yellow and orange.
Maybe I should have gotten into them more. I feel like maybe much like Topo, I could have found an appreciation for it.
I'm just
yeah,
glad they're
I don't
not
know
that G2 sugarless garbage.
Remember
Those
a
are
minute they had
bad.
Propel? I think it was. That was like that.
Propel. Yeah, it was Gatorade water, right?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I don't know.
That's not why I
for
got
me.
into Gatorade.
This
I'm
has turned into quite a cast here. I feel like we really should have derailed more. Yeah.
Man, but I'm to the point right now that if I go to the office and they offer me like unsalted, like stale Ritz, I'll be like, thank you. Like it's just like it's like just like free snack, anything. It's like yeah.
Here's 3 saltines, and I'll be like, wow, I'm blessed today. My
Yeah,
God, like,
this
this is incredible. 3 saltines, wow. Yeah. Last time I was in the office, I think I was in there like 3 months ago to pick stuff up.
Yeah.
And I just went into the snack closet and just like stole a box of like the Fig Newton things. I was like, fuck y'all.
Way to go.
This is for all the time I haven't been eat these Fig Newtons every morning. Like they're mine now. Like you can't stop me. What, security's here? No, they're not. Actually, I think they are still, but still. I'm like, what Chris Santos is gonna be like, you with the Fig Newtons. Enjoy your day. Like he's not gonna care.
Yeah,
Like,
what are you doing? Like if you don't eat that, it's gonna go stale.
Yeah.
Oh, Chad has changed
new
again.
Chad. Yeah. New Chad again. I hope he's okay. I feel this is the only time he's ever no-showed. So I already texted him. He never responded. I'm sure it's just probably like he got so sleep deprived that now he's gone into like a sleep coma, and he'll just be up like tomorrow after he finally restores himself.
Or something crazy is happening in the house. Like at this point, like I believe anything. It's like everything has happened at Chad's place. It's like, yeah.
So have y'all played any games recently? Because that's like the topic I'm on these days.
Sure.
It's some motherfucking video games, because we've been in the house and they're really fun. I don't know if y'all have tried these things before, but these games.
I've been obsessed with Miles Morales.
Yeah.
On PS4, because all right, I'm gonna wait a little bit, but it's awesome. I thought it would just kind of feel like DLC, with a new character, which would be fun. But it really does feel like they added enough to make it like more fun than the 2018 Spider-Man game. I've been loving it. I'm like so close to platting it, and I rarely do that. It's just like that's such a fun game. It's like hard to not, honestly.
Have you been playing with the Spider-Verse skin? I know everybody was like all wild about that because it changes like it breaks it down so it's animated on ones, right? Or something like that.
Yes, yeah. So you can play with the suit, which is cool. You can turn that off, like playing on ones or not. And then you can also turn on like comic book like onomatopoeia when he's fighting, which is fun. Like there's 3 different kind of settings you can build on top of each other or kind of pick and choose. But yeah, that was the first thing I played like that for the first several hours of the game, because thankfully they give it to you at the start. You don't have to unlock that. Just like right out of the gate, you can play it like it's Spider-Verse, and it's amazing. It's very fun.
Yeah.
Luis, you been on anything?
Age of Calamity. Been playing that.
Age of Calamity, yeah.
I really want that.
It's really fun. It's a really fun game, but like man, like it's hard to get used to at first. That frame rate is kind of yikes. It's about like the game runs at around like 20, 25 frames, and like at most 30. So like you have to get used to that kind of like playing the game like that.
I'm such a light frame snob these days that I feel like that would really bother me. I hate playing anything on the Switch that has like even Breath of the Wild in handheld mode is like it's annoying.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. It's still a great, fantastic game that you should play, but it just sometimes I'm like, okay, I can't do this. But yeah, I can imagine that. This is why they
need a Switch Pro. Like if we get a Switch Pro, then like
I'm honestly genuinely surprised we don't have an upgraded Switch yet, especially with how they always had like the DSi or the like 3DS Plus or XL or something like that. They always had a slightly better version, like a mid-generation refresh, and they just don't have it. Which seems. I really want the XL.
Wrong, but I'm pretty sure that this past November, the Switch still outsold like every console, even brand new launches. Like the Switch is still selling so well as it is. I imagine they're like, why do we need to make a Pro?
But I think you do also have to consider, I bet you if there was supply to meet the demand of a PS5, it probably would have outsold it. I think it's simply that's a supply chain issue. Like, how many people do you know that want a PS5, have the money and don't have a PS5. It's like most our office, right?
That's
like,
true.
There's like 100 people in Slack that are like, y'all see any of these PS5s anywhere? Like, you know, I honestly think that like that statistic is based on supply chain issues, not on the actual demand for the product. Although I know on Switch, especially this year, has had a year in quarantine. It's been huge.
Yeah.
Especially
It's not
Animal
like they have
Crossing
to,
and stuff.
but also that's probably the best time to do a refresh is when you've just sold out of all your supply.
I'm just really surprised because like you have the Switch handheld and then you have the hybrid. Like, surely what comes next is a Switch that's only at home and it has a beast graphic cards in it or like processor or whatever.
Yeah,
It's like it just kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I want to Switch XL really bad. Like I just started playing a Monster Sanctuary on Switch, which if you like, it's just a weird combination of games because it's like a Pokemon Metroidvania. It's a
Nice.
Pokemania kind of game.
That sounds awesome.
That really does.
I just started. It's very cool so far. I think the Switch is best in handheld. I haven't really plugged it into its dock. I had to for a stream to play Mario Kart during Extra Life. Aside from that, I don't think I've used my dock since we lived in Dallas. Because I had to like find it whenever I needed it the other day. Knew a fucking clue where it was. So yeah, I really want an XL. Like, give me that fucking beefy, huge iPad, boy. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
24-inch TV.
I mean, that might be a little much. But
yeah.
Something
I don't
bigger.
know.
Somewhere
16.
between.
I feel like
Yeah.
16 is probably the biggest you could go, but I think it'd be fine. And
It give us some better
time.
Joy-Cons as well, you know?
Yeah,
That's
see,
a
that's
huge
the
one. Yeah,
that's
a
the
huge
main
one.
reason I dock my Switch is because I love the Pro Controller.
Yeah,
The feel of the Pro Controller is
cut
great.
this bastard in half,
Yeah.
and then put him on either side.
Boom.
Good to
You're
go.
done.
Great.
Yeah.
Fucking, you've done it. Great job, Nintendo. I will
But
say
a game changer for me
like-
though was I got this little contraption that you can mount the screen onto your Pro
Yeah.
Controller, and it's the
Yeah.
best. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's really cool. I've never seen
Yeah.
that. That's awesome.
It's so
I should
good.
get one of those. Because I would say all praises for Switch. I have such bad Joy-Con drift. My Joy-Cons are so fucked. It is so annoying.
Yeah,
It is ridiculous. Like, that should have been a recall 100%. But anyways, we should probably move on to the community death battle because that's the thing we're supposed to do. And we have a few things to talk about.
Yeah.
Y'all know me. I like to eat a lot, often 3 times a day, which is delicious. And you know who makes it better? Omaha Steaks. These guys are bringing some of the best steaks you ever had, especially if, like, right now you get their deluxe grillers assortment. It features Omaha Steaks butcher cut filet mignons, and these are some beauts. They're perfectly aged, hand carved. They're fantastic steaks. What are you gonna say about it? Also, right now you can get an entire mouth-watering package in the whole deluxe grillers assortment, plus 4 free burgers and free digital meat thermometer, which is a really, really, really super useful tool to have if you're kind of new to the whole cooking a nice steak game. Meat thermometer makes this super duper simple to nail what kind of cook you want. I'm a medium rare man myself. Right in your first try and have an excellent steak. Plus, you get all that exclusive stuff. It's available to y'all if you go to omahasteaks.com and enter the code DBC into the search bar. You search for it like it's an item on their site, and then you can find the DBC Deluxe Grillers Assortment. And it's awesome. It's got this, like I said, it's got the extra burgers and the gift, and it's just a really good package. And you can trust it's great because Omaha Steaks isn't just steak. It's a company that has been doing this for a really long time. Omaha Steaks is actually a 5th-generation family-owned company with over 100 years of expertise in the whole meat industry. So they know what they're talking about. They know how to deliver it. They come, delivered in a cooler with dry ice. It's like they really take a serious stance on their setup, and it shows and it tastes. That's the important bit. So go to omahasteaks.com. Type in DBC in the search bar, get your grillers pack, and enjoy some wonderful steaks and burgers and everything else this holiday season. Okay, so first off, last week we said we would do Steven Universe Star Butterfly and a Wiz versus Boomstick one. With neither Ben or Chad being here, we're just going to go ahead and push the Wiz versus Boomstick one to next week's episode. But we're going to go ahead and talk about some Steven Universe versus Star Butterfly. So, Bri Guy, I don't know if you want to pull up either answer first. I don't think there's an order to this. I actually wrote a paper on this, but haven't caught up on future. I say star due to more combat experience, magic versatility, and the ability to open portal to anywhere in the multiverse. Steven has durability, but she could send him into a star. Yeah, that's the kind of researchy shit we like to see here, Death Battle. And then he linked the Google Doc for it, which is like, which is fucking awesome. Good job, bud. Yeah, I appreciate that research.
It's kind of hard to argue with research, though.
Are y'all on either of these series, like these franchise? Because I don't mess with either of them very much at all. They both seem. I've heard great things about both of them, but
I seen Steven Universe up to season 2, and I seen start all of season 1. So I got a bit to catch up on, but I do know at least a little bit about the characters, like what they do.
All right, so well, let's check out the answer for Steven real quick. Steven has the equivalent of an indestructible force field that he can manipulate to take any form he needs. Can be used for offense and defense. Has withstood and reflected white crystal energy blast or white diamond energy blast, again, I guess. Multiple superhuman powers, including healing spit. Steven will shatter the star. Healing spit is gross. Can we talk about this?
Yeah,
is that exactly what it sounds like?
Oh yeah,
that's also
That's exactly what it sounds
photo. Like. Just so aggressive, Chad.
He can either spit on things to like even like bring them to life. Like there's watermelons that he like spits on and turns into like they heal them. It's complicated, but like he turns watermelons into sentient beings, and then they get destroyed, and then he kind of like can spit on them, and like they come back to reform after a while. Also, he can like cry on people and then bring them back to life. So Steven has some like pretty OP stuff that could like really be useful for this kind of stuff. Like if he can cry on himself and heal himself, then how are you gonna stop that? Like you get hit, you're gonna like he's a kid, so he might cry, and then like he heals himself. Oh, I'm all better now. Like
his bodily fluids have powers.
Yes.
Okay.
Just for the chat update, he just texted me. He's fine. He just forgot to wake up, and April took care of the kids, and so he literally is just like, "Oh shit, I just woke up." I'm gonna tell these kids. I was right though. He had a sleep coma. I fucking nailed it. I was just certainly.
Most impressive.
Should have bet on that. Oh my gosh, Chad. Okay.
Yeah, that's a scary one. Just so crystal clear.
That's the face he made when he realized that he just woke up and he missed some cast.
So So
is it safe to assume that his blood also heals him?
Well, that's what I was gonna. There's more bodily fluids we haven't talked about.
Let's not even go that deep. But it would be not. Can you imagine how nice it would be to like never bite your tongue or cheek and have to worry about it, because it would just automatically go like boop, be fine.
Oh my gosh!
Like, because I hate it. You bite the inside of your cheek. It's the worst.
That
makes you feel like shit, because it's like
that's your next 2 weeks
for like 30 years, and like how do you fuck up chewing 30 years into it, right? Like it's such a stupid mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't really know what to say on these. I also hate superpowers where you're just like, well, that would change the world. Like this guy can just heal anything. It's the same thing. Like I hate the X-Men really bother me because they always try and bring like real world issues into stuff when there shouldn't be. Like Storm, like there's no droughts. Iceman, stop talking about global warming. Just send your boy there, refreeze these ice caps. Cool. Done. Kind of figured it out. Like there's so many ways to deal with global issues when you have that kind of shit going on. Like in Steven Universe, like don't worry about the pandemic. Just have Steve run around spit in everybody's mouth. Like I don't know. It's just silly. I hate powers that like they're just worried about their own petty squabbles when you could like fix something in the world.
Yeah.
Like just stop worrying about Magneto, and how about you just go like finish world hunger or some shit like that, right? That seems like a bigger villain to me. Anyways, I don't know how to vote on this one. Do you guys have strong opinions?
Star has done some crazy stuff, universe like levels, basically.
Yeah.
So,
and the person who wrote a paper on it said Star,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I like to lean with the research, so I'm gonna say Star. That's my vote. Is
I
Star.
vote for Spit.
Spit?
I vote for the
Okay.
healing Spit.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Steven? Okay, cool. I'll vote for Star.
That's 2 stars.
Yeah,
Let's see what these
obviously you
polls
can't
say.
you can't go against research. Like it's like if somebody spent that much time looking into these characters, like without bias, hopefully they didn't have any bias. Anyways, you can't like it's Star. It's like I know the Star has done some universe level stuff, so I wouldn't put it past Star to be able to take care of Steven, even with the healing factor, because Steven, as far as I understand, he's not universe level. But we'll see.
But Star
We'll see.
is. So yeah. So Star.
Yeah.
I'm feeling the Star vibes. Let's check in these polls. See what they say.
I was wrong.
Ah.
I was wrong. I should have
I
not
mean, yeah,
gone
you
for
were
the
right,
research.
but I feel like we all know there's popularity plays a 10% role in the
Yeah,
polls.
that's true.
I feel like it's 60-40. If characters are evenly matched and one's more popular, I assume the poll is going to be 60-40. I
Yeah.
feel like this is a slight win for Star based on my own mental numbers, and I'm just going to count that as a win for me. I've done it. Let's check out how conceited I am. That was cool. I just gave myself the win. Yeah. So that's our show. We're gonna do sudden death. Sorry that Ben and Chad couldn't be here. They are both alive. They are both fine. We did not kidnap them or do anything.
Don't look into it.
Although, if
Definitely
Wiz and
don't
Boomstick's
look into
voices
it.
change, don't worry. That's nothing. We're just trying new stuff. It's still them. Did not take their jobs. Anyways, bye.
Bye.